Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Call of Duty, and today we finish up the base campaign. And yes, this is only the halfway point for the LP as a whole, but it's still a big thing for me. This has been a very much of an odyssey for me. And closing out this particular leg of the odyssey with me is...
Hey everybody, it's the last RoboKai, and this has been a quite interesting ride as well. Just from a video game historical perspective, just as much as how much we've been learning in the thread and with everyone talking to us all about World War II. It's been really good. It's been fascinating.
And I'm Skillness62. I've very much enjoyed my time with you guys so far and hope to continue in the future.
Yeah, we're still going to be keeping him around for SAS and such finales for United Offensive as well, because the SAS gets much better missions in United Offensive. They're freaking great. Looking forward to those. But in the meantime, today we are really closing out the war. This is the Russian attack on Berlin itself. Our ultimate objective is to get our patriotic flag up above the Reichstag, and I always have some mixed feelings about this mission, just because you really do storm the Reichstag, and it's a little bit hard to see it getting blown up so bad. I mean, the only real historical monument that you see in this game is the Red Square statue, and that one doesn't really get touched in game. So, my qualms aside, let's go ahead and get started.
Victory or death!
Hurrah!
Very much of that going on in this level.
Got to be done.
Okay, so let's everybody start counting how many MG42s are in this level. It's really very short as the American finale, but just start counting it. That was one.
Yeah, I've turned my volume right down. To like the victory or death. I've always liked those terms. You know, you can't argue with me. You can't say, well, why can't we have both?
Well, I guess you supposedly can, but I'm not sure you would want the death part.
We need to get those flak guns to get our tanks through.
Exactly.
This area can really mess you up. There is a flat gun over there, but if you walk over there, you'll get cut to shreds, and you're about to see why.
Wait way around the corner.
Yeah.
That's two.
2, 3.
Oh, they've stacked them. It's like a hamburger. Don't argue with my analogies, they're terrible.
Wait, that's not all. 4.
Ah, yes, the pushing grenades. I love these things.
They're going to get used quite a bit.
You're just emptying them out, all out.
Okay, so you do realize your own bloke's already gone in front of you there.
There's nothing I mean, there's just too much fire.
Blow this gun up!
I still can't manage to get shot at because they've just... Oh dear.
Hide in the corner.
So, what do you think would have happened if I hadn't knocked out those 2 other MG42s first? Huh?
Well...
This is the definition of teamwork. Charge forward while he's got somebody else to shoot at.
Excuse me, madam. Just putting a little bit of plastic.
There. And now it's quiet. Ah.
That was relatively painless.
It's much worse if you don't time your charge forward.
If by some chance you managed to somehow get through there without getting murdered by all the machine gun nests, would that explosion kill everybody who was at them?
I have no idea because I have never managed the feat that you are describing.
Yeah.
So this game has no version of IDDQD then.
I wouldn't count on it.
I long for the days when cheats weren't something you had to buy as DLC.
These tanks can be very big douchebags, by the way. Because they can run you over. They do not give even the slightest fuck.
Oh, there you go. door opened. It
Yep.
was awfully nice of them. Now they're just gonna like stay there for the rest of the game, huh?
Oh, we'll see him again. The PPSH is a monster, I'm just saying.
And there we have it.
And that's the Reichstag. Such a sad, sad thing to see.
Hang on! Hold the line, Connor, until our tank is through!
So 4 and 5 and 6. Or wait a minute, that's 5, 6, and 7.
There's so much face shooting getting done around here.
Hold in position! Wait for the bang!
At this point, I just start to take a hint.
What? The fact the NPCs are shouting at you to hold there might have something to do with it.
Well, unfortunately, he doesn't follow his own advice.
Well, that's the problem then, isn't it?
Yeah, he went to check to see if they were still there. Of course, you know, I would have myself started trying to jump and like shoot from like over the top of the tank.
So yeah, there are those tanks again. We did see them again.
Yay! Well, welcome back. You missed the party. Oh, and look, there's even more.
No, those are the same dudes that that I was counting earlier.
Hmm? Oh no, there were some guys to your right, some guys to your left. It's better.
Oh yeah. There are more Soviet soldiers. I cannot tell you how happy I was to get those health pickups.
I would not have wanted to be one of the like the. Oh, you just shot it. Take that, you jerk.
Any particular reason why you just shot Tank in the back?
Because he was a douchebag and ran over those 2 Soviet soldiers we just saw. I am positive that's what happened.
Well, that's their fault for not exercising tank safety. But yeah, I just would not have wanted to be like any of the German soldiers still remaining in that building, like the last, major holdout.
Yeah, this has got to just be like the most despair ever.
Well, you know the hilarious thing? In real life, they weren't even German. Most of the defenders of the Reichstag in the actual Battle of Berlin were actually French.
Huh.
For real.
Yep.
How'd that happen?
I wasn't aware of that.
Waffen SS.
Ah.
Volunteers, so part of the Nordland division. And as it turns out, they were the main defenders of the Reichstag, as far as I'm aware anyway. Obviously everyone was mixed in, so...
Wow, that's blowing my mind right there. This is one of the biggest parts that I always have mixed feelings about, because there's so much cover due to the benches around that the only way to really take care of this area is to just saturate it with grenades. But that's you're throwing explosives in one of Europe's older buildings here. That's really kind of a douchebag thing to do.
Well, I'm not sure you could really make it worse off than it is right now. Just interesting thing about with the French soldiers, because I do know there is has been, at least in the news at this point in time, as we record this, an issue in Ireland relating to the recognition of Irish soldiers who went and fought for the Allies against the Nazis.
Yeah, in terms of the opposite way, whereas now they were sort of very vilified for lots of years, and now they've sort of been presented with sort of pardons, etc., and actually recognise it was a good thing, whereas there's obviously no such thing in France, certainly as far as I'm aware. Well, essentially, as far as I'm aware, they pretty much fought to the death anyway, knowing that there was nothing waiting for them, and certainly, as far as I can remember, every French SS member that the French caught was shot out of hand immediately.
Yeah.
So they sort of were well aware that A, as traitors, and B, as Waffen-SS, they had no chance.
Yeah.
Yay! Zarodinu!
Oh, here we go, big moment.
Spoiled by the fact that this is a rifle flag, a flag with a rifle inside.
It's fine, it works.
Mother, a few days ago, we waved the flag of the motherland over the top of the Reichstag in Berlin. The war, at last, seems to be coming to an end. There is very little fighting left in the enemy. Soon I will be returning to our home. There are German prisoners of war everywhere. Today, I crossed the Elbe River in Germany and shook hands with an American soldier. Although I could not understand anything he said, I felt this man was my brother. And I think he felt the same.
That didn't last long, did it?
Unfortunately not. I always really appreciated that as an ending cinema, as a big reward for finishing the game. I mean, the game has done a pretty good job of bringing you some of the feelings of the war, and that was apparently something that that a lot of soldiers felt at the Elbow River. I mean, there are a lot of stories about American veterans coming back and saying pretty much the same thing about, yeah, I met the Russians and they were great guys. It was just so good to see them. Yeah. So this is the end of Call of Duty 1 Basic. You will notice that over on the side, if you pay attention, you'll see a lot of names repeated. The team that made this game was really surprisingly small for how much effort went into this. It's kind of a vote to what can happen when you have people who are really focused, really good at their jobs, and well led. I mean, and one thing I will note is we have the testers coming up here. You're going to see a lot of them, and it's obvious that they did all sorts of work on this game, because the worst bug we've seen is that one at the end where there was a rifle inside a flag. Certainly not a crash to desktop.
Yeah. Pop the flag down and open fire.
Entirely possible.
And even that might well have been properly designed anyway. So
I really set them wrong.
You do also see a few things in this sequence that seem like it might have been cut out, because stealth doesn't work this way in the game.
So it's very much a case of, are you in the proximity? Yes. Oh, hello, we've all noticed you.
Yeah, and we psychically know where you are. This has very much been a game that I grew up with, though, and I'm really glad that I was able to do it like this in my adulthood. I mean, it was really the game that introduced me to shooters and the online and communal aspect to games, particularly shooters as a whole, and it did it very well. It's a very big thing for a game to do, and I mean, it's the rare shooter that also tells a good story, even particularly one with as few words as Call of Duty has used.
Yeah, it's been very impressive to watch.
in some ways, though, I don't think it needs. I don't think it needs many words, though, because the one thing I think Call of Duty got right was that sort of be telling the story without having to spend large amounts of exposition, characters, and hand-holding. And I think that's something that's lacking at the moment.
I wholeheartedly agree. I think that telling a story without using words is infinitely harder than telling one with words. So the fact that they were able to get it done so powerfully is very impressive to me. I mean, I wonder where that art has gone. I mean, because you certainly don't see it in too many modern shooters.
Yeah, we've just had, like, as of the time of recording, we've just had the latest Call of Duty revealed, where it's just more of the same sort of sequences that sort of, everything exploding around you, you probably getting knocked off your feet, your character waving his arms in front of himself, so you have no control over it, and a dog.
And a dog. I really do wonder where the interactive cutscene went to in the vein of something like Red Square. That situation was on rails in the sense in that if I walked around or tried to break character in what I was doing, I was gonna die like crazy. But just being in there, it was such a much more powerful experience than just sitting back and watching a canned animation.
In some ways, I think it's probably a victim. Well, it's a victim rather. The situation's a victim of sort of the packing more flashy things into it. So people sort of going, wait, you have to look at what we're doing. So we're going to not give you the choice. We're going to force you to look at the crazy special effects that we're putting into this. And that lack of control is then feeding into games turning into one long interactive cutscene, essentially.
I think that goes into the minimal speech plot, in just that one of the things that Call of Duty 1 really understands is letting go. It understands that it just puts you in this situation. You're going to write your own story, and there are a few games that still do that very well. Most recently, XCOM: Enemy Unknown still does that very well, but it certainly has gotten seems like it's gotten a lot more rare anyway.
Certainly, I think in terms of non-open world games, because you say XCOM: Enemy Unknown, but that's a game very much designed that you intending to essentially write your own story, whereas something Call of Duty, Medal of Honor, etc., they have a story there, and it's sort of there. You're following their story more so than anything else. So I think it's there, allowing you a very loose or very flexible interpretation of their story, rather than just sort of this is what it's like a film. This is what you're going to experience.
Oh dear, you are going to love this dog, and you are going to really you're going to pet it. We're going to make you pet it in the opening cutscene.
Empathize!
Oh Lord. So that polishes off the base campaign of Call of Duty 1. We will have a short break while we do some multiplayer shenanigans, and then we'll be back within a couple of weeks with United Offensive, and I'm looking forward to that. The levels are much harder, but they do just as good a job of telling those stories. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to having you both back as well, dudes. Seriously, I always feel very honored and very blessed to have co-commentators as awesome as you two. So thank you very much for coming along with the ride.
Oh, it's always a pleasure. I do enjoy watching you play these games that I would probably, at a difficulty level, that I would probably just sort of like crash and burn on fire at.
It is worth noting that one of my forgotten exploits was a website called playithardcore.com. Oh Lord. So we'll see y'all again real soon, folks. Until then, I've been Cool Guy.
I have been the Last Robot Guy.
And I've been Skillness622.
On this Memorial Day, take good care of yourselves and be good to all of the soldiers you see, folks.
Unless you don't view it on Memorial Day.